Well, tomorrow, as we all know, is Valentine's Day. But did you know that Valentine's Day is thought to have its origins in the Bronze Age pagan festival, Lupercalia? They used to say it the other way around, but I changed it. Which was celebrated in mid-February each year. And it was an ancient Roman festival that celebrated the coming of spring. And we can all get into that, right? And it included fertility rites. And it also included pairing off women with men by lottery. I bet you didn't know that. Fortunately, we've come a long way, baby, since then. I mean, today, everyone wants to enter the lottery and win, not just the men. And Valentine's Day has evolved through the centuries and has become not only a celebration of romantic love, but it also includes our celebration of our love and affection for our family and friends. And most of us, when we were children, probably exchanged little Valentines, when we were in school with our classmates, right? And they were so charming and sweet and incredibly corny. And I remember that I couldn't wait to give them out or to receive them. And my favorite, because I've always loved bees, was the one with the cartoon bee on it, and it read, "Honey, be mine." Remember that one? Well, I remembered that one so clearly that as I was seeking to come up with some examples for my talk this morning, I couldn't think of one. And so I Googled retro Valentines, which is to say old-time Valentines, to see if it would stimulate my memory. And there were a couple that looked a little familiar. There was a cartoon duck that it read, "Don't think I'm quacked, but I think you're ducky." And there was one with a bunny standing by a chalkboard, and it said, "Just can't erase you from my mind, Valentine." Now, you may or may not be happy to know that these and so many more retro Valentines are available for purchase. Yeah, unused. So if there is someone that you just can't erase from your mind, you can let them know the old-fashioned way. But don't you think that a day that is so openly dedicated to expressing love is worthy of celebrating in some way? I mean, Hallmark does. But a day celebrating love, a day of feeling love, just to feel love, is a beautiful thing. And it could turn into a lifetime of days filled with love. The author Catherine Ingram wrote, "When we love, we see beauty. We talk in beauty. We walk in beauty. In love, we are the beauty itself." Now, I have a tradition that's part of my Valentine's celebration each year. I begin the day by sending mental Valentines written from my heart to anyone who comes to mind as I am sitting and focusing on feeling gratitude for my life. And the bonus of sending Valentines in your mind is that they not only get there on time, but we can send them to those who are no longer with us in physical form. And when we're feeling gratitude in a deep but general way, when our mind is quiet and we're feeling thankful just to be alive, to feel thankful, rather than thinking about why we're thankful, we're not limited by thinking alone. And we're more open in our awareness to a greater experience than thinking might provide. When we're not thinking about who should come to mind when we're thankful, we may be surprised at who does come to mind. It could be someone we wouldn't have put on our Valentine's list or thought of with affection. But if someone comes to mind when we're filled with gratitude, there's a reason. It may be that that person somehow helped us learn a life lesson that we wanted to learn, and we're grateful for now. Except when we were learning it back then, we felt like we were learning it the hard way. If this happens, it's a great opportunity for us to practice forgiveness, to remove any residual blame that we might be holding in our mind that is keeping us from experiencing greater love. A Course in Miracles tells us in complete forgiveness, in which you recognize that there is nothing to forgive, you are absolved completely. When there's nothing to forgive, there's no one to blame. And when our mind is free of blame, we are more able to love more fully and more unconditionally. The great thing about Mental Valentines is we can be as creative as we want to be, and if we take it lightly, for those unexpected mental guests, we can have some fun. For example, one Valentine that I sent had a picture of a cartoon boulder on one side and a brick wall on the other, and the cutest little bunny in between. And it read, "When stuck between a rock and a hard spot, sometimes we need a hard shove to get through. Thank you for being mine, Valentine." In 1 Corinthians, we read, "Let all that you do be done in love." If God is all there is, the infinite one without end, there could be no spot where God is not. God would be present in every spot. And if God is love, there could be no place for us to do anything that's not done in love. We have our very existence in love. We think and speak and act in love because there's no other place for us to do it. We do everything in love even when we don't mean to. Even when love seems absent within us. Even when love doesn't feel like the motivation for our thoughts, our words, or actions. Even then, we're just ignorant of the presence of love that is everywhere, including right where we are. The poet Robert Browning wrote, "Take away love, and our earth is a tomb." Thank God the entire universe is the creation of love itself. Take away love, and our earth wouldn't exist. But thank goodness you can't take love away because there's no place outside of it to put it. Just because we're not aware of the love within us and around us doesn't mean it's gone anywhere or that we could do anything without it. Which brings us to the title of today's talk, The Heart of the Matter. The outer material world we see. The human world of matter apparent to our physical eyes couldn't exist without the invisible, metaphysical, spiritual life force caused by the energy of love. Love is at the heart of all matter. Our body, everybody's body, animal, bird, bee bodies, bodies of water, bodies of land. Love is the origin of all that exists as matter. And yet love is all that matters. Einstein famously wrote a letter to his daughter Liesl. And it reads in part, there is an extremely powerful force that so far science has not found a formal explanation to. It is a force that includes and governs all others, and is even behind any phenomenon operating in the universe, and has not yet been identified by us. This universal force is love. If love should ever disappear completely from even one atom, that atom could not exist. If love should ever disappear completely from one human being, that human being could not exist. There is no loveless spot in the universe because there is no spot where love is not. What appears as lovelessness is the unawareness of love, not the absence of love. I mean, we're in love with each other, we just don't know it yet. Because we're thinking love's a choice rather than what we are. We may believe that we can oppose love and be a spot where love is not by not loving ourselves or someone else. But all we're doing is holding back the expression of love through us with an illusionary dam that we've made in our mind. A Course in Miracles tells us your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all of the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. We are spiritual beings of love, living in a spiritual universe of love, governed by the spiritual law of love. All that comes into our life in form and expression and experience is for the sole purpose of our becoming more aware and expanding and growing as a being of love. Now, the presence of love may seem to change and fluctuate within us, but even so, even when it does, we remain in these physical forms, the love of God in person. Every moment, we're either ignoring the love that we are or being the love that we are. Our focus today, this month, this year, every year, is not on seeking and finding and talking about what we're not. It's about focusing on and practicing the love that we are. Love flows without change, fluctuation, or inconsistency. Without division, partition, or separation throughout all of creation, throughout the whole universe, including right where we are, whether we're aware of its presence or not. Our one and only love, our true love, originates in the very heart of God and emanates from the center of the universe in which we live. It is an all-powerful, all-knowing, ever-present force that can't be opposed in truth. Our divine self is aglow with it. In the book of Isaiah, we read, "Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant of peace be removed." We can look at this world of matter and think that it's all that matters. We can think about and talk about the appearance of things that appear as spots where love is not. We can focus on the spots before our eyes, or we can choose to look at this world with love. Thich Nhat Hanh said, "Love allows us to see things that cannot be seen without love." When we live in our heart, we hold no judgments, because the love in our heart flows with a love that is unconditioned and undivided. When we fall in love with love, when we choose to love because love is what we are, as our song said this morning, we will not be shaken. We will not be moved. Love lights every darkness when we let it. Love rights every wrong when we allow it to. Only love can cause us to see love over hatred. And from that view, it's easy to see that love is all that matters. Namaste. All right, let's have some chocolate. All right. Well, this is the time of our service, our thank you moment that we're specifically saying thank you, but we've been saying thank you since the service began, and in between, every day, every hour of the day. So thank you. Thank you for being here in the sanctuary. Thank you for your love and support. Thank you for showing up live stream or watching the video and supporting us, for hitting that contribute button or hitting that donate button or signing up for PayPal or mailing a check. But thank you for being here, because it's much easier. So to tell us how, if you're not here, you can help to support us, because we are so grateful for that support. We are a community of love. Our message is love. So your support helps us to spread that message and let everyone else know that love is all there is, no matter what appears to be. So to tell us what that is and how you can help is our treasurer, Dr. Jamie Phillips.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, these are ways that you can contribute to LEC financially. I feel like I'm about to announce the Oscar nominees.
And the winner is?
They're all winners today. Okay, you can hit the PayPal. You can go to our website and hit the contribute button. You can contribute by going to the donate button on facebook.com, and it's facebook.com/Life Enrichment Center. You can send a check to 2512 South Dye Road, Flint, Michigan, 48532. Or you can donate through PayPal, and I'll say it correctly this time, Reverend Kim, at lec2512@gmail.com.
Say Lupercalia. Lupercalia.
I'm not about to say
Oh,
that.
okay.
It's not my part of my shtick here. If you're here today, thank you. I'm going to ask the offertory gratitude receiver to come forward. Let's give a hand to Janice. She's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
And while she is taking the offertory in the sanctuary, we'll have a beautiful song by Nemo Patel and Daniel Namad called Grateful. And right after that,